No, it's about to be midnight where I'm at. I'm in California, but for some people, it is after midnight. So you can pretty much say it's officially election day. So I'm just going to give my final thoughts and analysis what I think of both candidates, and who am I voting for. After careful consideration, basically looking at the history of both parties involved, who do I think we would be better off with as the president? I think in all likelihood we would be better off with Trump as the president versus Kamala, because if Kamala wins, you're going to see this stuff about girl empowerment. You're just going to see a spike in women basically thinking that they are more hierarchy than men. You're going to see, disrespect, even more disrespect towards black men via black women. So for all the wrong reasons, I'm stating why Kamala shouldn't win. And then no matter who wins, there's going to be chaos no matter what from both sides for different specific reasons. You're going to hear, if Kamala doesn't win, you're going to hear black women scapegoating black men, even though Kamala is on the wrong side of history, no matter how much they try to scrub it and pretend that Kamala didn't do the things that she did. And then, from, the shaming and attacking of black men, everybody taking pot shots at us and not apologizing. I'm just going to say to black men, as far as I'm concerned, no more apologizing, because everybody gets to disrespect us, but there's no apologies. But if we say the slightest little thing, we're forced to apologize. I'm not apologizing for anything anymore. And for you black women that wish death on us, if Kamala doesn't win, fuck y'all. Real talk. I could say something even worse than what some of y'all were saying, but I don't want to jeopardize my channel, because you're not allowed to say certain things if you're a man. But if you're a black man, it's a free for all. People can say whatever the hell they want to say about you with no repercussion or consequences for the most part. So I'm just telling the truth. If Kamala win, these women, you think women getting besides themselves now, and particularly black women, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just telling you that now, based off how erratic, unrational, and unhinged some black women were acting in regards, if you said you didn't support Kamala Harris. And like I said before, I saw that simp fest with DL Hughley and Michael Ealy and a bunch of other simps. Obviously these dudes were raised by women, and look and look where it got them. DL Hughley didn't even believe his own damn daughter when she said that she had got, you know, compromised. He didn't believe her because he wanted to keep his spot in Hollywood. So how this nigga gonna tell me who I should vote for and who I need to protect? This fake, you know what I'm saying? This fake Indian white woman, because that's what Kamala is. If you really look at Kamala's features, you could see those Indian like features in her. She doesn't really look black. I know that she has certain hairstyles and all that stuff that try to make her look black. And I'm talking about how disingenuous Kamala Harris has been throughout the campaign. But it just goes to show you, anybody that say you should perish because you don't vote a certain way over somebody that they never met before in their life and probably not going to ever meet. Think about that. To all these sorry black women, and I use the term women very loosely, more so bitch should be the word that comes to mind, or should I say bitches, because that's what they're acting like. To sit up there and say that you wish death upon somebody because they don't do what you say or vote how you want them to vote, and then they sit up there and say that they don't have to take orders, they don't have to listen to no man, all this type of stuff. You hear all that misandrous rhetoric, but if you say one thing, then you're a misogynist. But they're telling us to vote for Kamala Harris because not only is she a woman, but she's a black woman. But they're saying you're a misogynist. That doesn't make any sense. The hypocrisy that been spewing out of people's mouth. And who should believe anything or take Barack Obama, the ultimate beta male? First of all, his wife said she didn't even really love him when she married him. She had to grow to love him. She married him for stature and clout. And then for her to give that divisive speech, oh, well, if Kamala doesn't win, you should look at your spouse funny. So these women will rather have the right to decide what they want to do with, with a pregnancy versus, virtually having, sustainable income, being able to maintain the house, being able to function. So you would rather be able to decide what you want to do with a pregnancy instead of basically not having to pay extreme gas prices, extreme prices for food, extreme prices for rent. Really? How about this? How about you keep your legs closed? How about you stop letting so many dudes shoot up the club? How about you stop, being a walking nut bucket? How about that? How about that? So I'm just saying, and for the people that's sitting up here thinking that history gonna be made, yeah, history gonna be made, all right. Because I'm telling you now, when you see Russia, when you see them Russian troops, and you see them troops from China and Korea landing on the White House lawn, when you see a real, when you see, yeah, when you see a real life Olympics is falling, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing because you were warned. Because y'all couldn't put y'all feelings to the side of y'all ego to the side. This is more and more reason why it's been proven that black women can't lead. For them to sit up there and wish death on you, so because they don't get their way, you should die. Make that make sense. I have not heard one I have not heard one brother say, well, if you don't vote for Trump and you black, you should perish. But you got black women literally saying that. And these hoes think we supposed to procreate, wife them, and marry them. Really? Do you know how ludicrous that sounds? But you haven't heard mainstream media talking about that. They love to talk about Magna and how violent Trump supporters are. But they haven't talked about how violent and unhinged that Kamala supporters have been, and particularly women. That bitch Sonny Holton, because that's her name, not Host, and Holton ain't apologized for what she said, calling black men crazy. Anytime you think for yourself and you can think freely as a black man, you a threat. Not only are you seen as an enemy to people that don't look like you, sometimes you're seen as an enemy to the women in your community because they've been made to believe that they are the leaders of the household and they're not, which has been designed over 100-year period to destroy, tear down, and ruin the black community in various different ways. Various different ways. Too many to go over now. So I'm just saying. So if you want to drink that Kool-Aid and listen to fools like DL Hughley and Steve Harvey, dudes who are bought, who have sat up there and lied to your face, Kamala supporters who have lied to your face about her history, dudes like me have presented research and evidence after evidence that Kamala Harris had a shaky history as a prosecutor and an attorney general. But you want to ignore that. Convictions to having her a lot of her cases overturned because of evidence tampering and police corruption, to basically charging people as felons for minor weed possession. It ain't about locking them up, it's about putting them on paperwork. At the end of the day, there's levels to everything. Nobody in life is guaranteed not to make a mistake where they may encounter law enforcement, but it's the extreme of how the court system punish you. Everybody knows the court system can be overzealous and rendering punishment. And at the same time, we know who they are harder on. If you can't afford top-notch representation, for the most part, they're gonna railroad you. They're gonna steamroll you. They're going to finesse you into a conviction. It's not about putting you in jail. It's about having you on paperwork to where they can control you and control your life. Kamala Harris is on several videos gloating about how she'll put you in jail for truancy and all this stuff. And then all these videos are available. But you got people that will bypass that. You got people like D.L. Hughley that'll tell you a bold-faced lie. Him, Roland Martin, Michael Ealy, all those type of dudes. They're cornballs. Malcolm X told us 60 years ago that we shouldn't look to celebrities to be our leaders. We can appreciate what they do on the big screen, the TV screen, or on the basketball court, the football field. That's fine. But as far as them leading us and us following them, nah, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So who am I voting for? Who is Tail Business voting for? It won't be Kamala Harris, that's for fucking sure. Probably won't be Trump neither. Probably will be the couch. But then again, people say a vote for the couch is a vote for Trump. Whatever. All I can say is people talking about, see, the one thing that they love to throw in people's face about, Trump is about how he handled the Bobbitt situation. Nobody knew what that was. And then do I think to a certain degree it was planned? Like I said, they use more scare tactics than they use actual statistics. Sometimes you can scare somebody into something. You can manifest something. If you put up so much propaganda, they will start to believe it. And that's why mainstream media, predominantly white-owned media, is dangerous. And this is why they hate content creators. This is why Kamala Harris said that if she's elected president, she was going to start coming after people on social media. But she talks about the free world, talking about, democracy. If you're trying to censor and tell me what to say on my platform, isn't that censorship? Isn't that communism? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. They keep talking about, well, they're going to create jobs, but they took away millions of jobs when they violated people's civil liberties. They went as far as to say they was going to start knocking on people's door with the National Guard, asking them, do they want to take, the poaching? Kamala Harris wants to pass laws in place. She wants to put laws in place where they could randomly just routinely come in your house and search your house for weapons. And if they feel you are not suitable enough, they could just take them without explanation. Now, who the hell you think they're going to target first? Who you think they're going to come after first that own weapons? Who you think they're going to come after first? Who you think weapons they going to take first? And these going to be the same people. These going to be the same people say, oh, they took my guns. They just came in the house and they asked for my guns and they took it without explanation. You know what's sad about certain people and about people? Some people would rather keep a lie going, even when it's proven that it's a lie, than just admit when they're wrong. Listen, you guys, I haven't always got it right. Y'all didn't see me. If I didn't know, I always say allegedly. I will say I'm going to do more information because I don't know everything. I'm not going to sit up there and say, this is fact. This is what happened. And if you don't agree with me, you're lying. But this is what they do. I don't always get it right. Kamala Harris had opportunity after opportunity to address her past. as an attorney general and a prosecutor. But what she would do is have people talk on her behalf, and that's kind of cowardly. And then when somebody would flat out ask her, she would talk around the question. She would never give a straight answer. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, Jerry, that's gonna be another thing. She gonna give them the right to basically, especially, she gonna give them the right to do whatever they want to do. And then you already see how much straight shaming is going on. They're gonna really make, when I say that they're gonna really come after black men, whew, you have no idea what's in store for. But this is some of the stuff that Kamala Harris wants to do. She wants to fix it to where women pretty much gonna have a sanctuary. She's pretty much gonna have it to where women gonna have immunity, to where they gonna be able to do whatever they want to do, which they damn near at that point anyway. When they say that they're not protected, how are they not protected? We just seen earlier this year with with Jonathan Major, where Jonathan Major got convicted for basically trying to take back his own stuff. They had mountains of evidence to prove that that person was the aggressor, but yet he got convicted. You didn't see athletes get their careers ruined, like Trevor Bauer, just Chris Brown, for mistakes that they made that they won't let live down. You've seen Michael Irvin get their reputations destroyed, and then you got people talking about believe all women. That doesn't even make any kind of sense. If I put out a campaign saying believe all men or all men are right, you know what they would say? I'm sexist. I'm a misogynist. But to say that you supposed to believe somebody because they're a woman, that don't even make no kind of sense. Oxymoron, hypocritical, stupid. And you just got to get to the thick of things. I'm just not one to play these kind of games. So I'm just saying, and then to top that off, all she gonna do is she not gonna do nothing about immigration. What she gonna do is she gonna openly bring these people in. She gonna fast track them to citizenship, and that's pretty much what's gonna happen. And she gonna say, "Hey, see you in 4 years. Vote for me." That's all she gonna. That's all she gonna do. She keep talking about what Trump didn't do. What was he supposed to do? At the end of the day, they could have put a stop. They could have controlled. They could have contained the migrant situation. They let them come in, and it was proven that they flew some of them in. And then, of course, they put them in urban neighborhoods, basically to flood us out, black people. So that's pretty much what they did. They didn't drop them off in Iowa. They didn't drop them off in Wyoming. They didn't drop them off in those type of places. They didn't drop them off in Maine, New Hampshire. They didn't drop them off in them type of places. Wherever it was niggas, that's where they dropped them off at. So there you have it. Listen, man, I can tell you this much. I can tell you this much. When when Trump was in office, I wasn't paying $6 a gallon for gas. That's how high it got in Northern California. I wasn't paying I wasn't paying $15 for a Big Mac, large fries, and large soda at McDonald's. Like I said, $20 can't even feed two people now at McDonald's. The 99-cent only store under the Biden administration went from the 99-cent only store went to the $1.25, the $2 store, and to the point to where they basically went out of business. The Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree. Mass inflation. Can anybody explain that to me? They'll sit up there and say, oh, first of all, you had 4 years to fix this and you did nothing. She's not qualified to be president. And I'm sorry, everybody knows I'm as black as they come. I am BAF all the way. In case you don't know what BAF means, it means black as fuck. Okay? Exactly. So why are we so that's the thing. They trying to muzzle us. And once again, Kamala Harris, if she wins the presidency, she gonna come after content creators. She gonna do either two things. She gonna either try to get your channel shut down. She gonna either try to get you demonetized, or she may have somebody come pay you a visit. So how is that democracy if they're trying to control what you say? Like they're supposed to have the only opinion. Like we can't disagree with them. Isn't that dictatorship? I'm just asking the question. Isn't that dictatorship where you telling somebody what to say on their platform? Oh, see, they're gonna label you disinformation or misinformation. Mark Zuckerberg said that the Biden administration was harassing him when it pertained to Bobit. They were harassing them. But then Mark Zuckerberg said he's not gonna comply anymore. So where they were basically anybody that had a difference of opinion about Bobit, and then come to find out the people that were trying to, present facts and tell you to do your own research, what did they call you? A conspiracist. Then come to find out you wasn't a conspiracist, you was telling the truth. If this is supposed to be a free country, so they say, you should have the right to decide. So let me get this straight. You want to pass laws to where you say you will veto any abortion law, but then you want to say you can mandatory me what to put, you can mandate what I'm supposed to put in my body. You want to bypass religious exemptions. They violated every civil liberty that you could think of. So I'm just saying proceed with caution. I mean, if you feel like you want to vote for her, then okay, fine. If you vote for the other dude, fine. But don't sit up here telling me who I should vote for. Don't sit up here threatening me or harassing me, because I'm gonna tell you right now, my gat do not see color. I can tell you that's the one thing that I don't discriminate against. My gat do not see color. It don't see race. It don't see gender. It don't see sexuality. so, so, so I can tell you that right there. So for you unhinged, radical Kamala Harris women, chicks that are saying that you wish, ill will upon us, well, like I said, you hey, you could get dead like Benny, you could get dead like the real Benny Siegel. You can get knocked down too. So you can go down too. Since you say you want equal rights, cool. Since you say you are equal to me, okay, cool. Well, let's see, can you survive a 2-2-3? Let's see. Let's see, can you let's just see how your body handle a 2-2-3 or 10 millimeter casing or a 9 millimeter casing, or for real. Since you say you are equal, since you wish death upon us, since you that unhinged, because I will protect myself. They ain't our women. Man, have you seen how delusional black women have became? Like I said, um, for the most part, all they like to do is play the victim. Is they make it seem like everything is wrong with everybody else except them. Why ain't nobody asking me out? Why won't nobody approach me? Do I look like I should go 50-50 on bills? Just complain about everything. Oh, I don't want to go out on a coffee date. Oh, I don't do the cheesecake factory. I don't go to the movies. Why are you looking at me at the gym? Why are you looking at me at the store? But then these same ones will be like, nobody will talk to me. Why won't men open doors for us? Why won't men see when they see us struggling to reach a certain item because we're not tall enough? Why won't no. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. That's what's so funny. She ain't even black. That's the sad part about it. She ain't even black. She's not black at all. She's not black at all whatsoever. That's what's so funny. You got black women falling head over heels for a fake black woman who transformed herself into a black woman who was openly saying that she was Indian. Openly. Openly saying that she was Indian. Yeah, she been everything except black. She didn't become black till she failed at running for the president the first time. So now all of the sudden, this lady was when she was in office, she was saying she was Asian Indian, Asian of Asian descent or Indian, Hindu Indian. I forgot what they call it, East Asian or something, East Asian or something. That's what. But she was saying she was the first Indian elected official. I could pull up the paperwork. I could pull up the paperwork. I could pull up the documents. I could pull up the articles when she was saying that she was Indian. Kamala Harris is on a, and then the thing about that, Kamala Harris never would taunt people and display arrogance about her being a prosecutor. That's a damn lie. She was on American Gangster. She was on American Gangster. I could find the episode that she was on my Fire Stick if I wanted to, further exposing her for taunting about how and of course the people she were after were some black men, some brothers out of Frisco that was like hitting these jewelry stores, and she was open. Yeah, you pay the price, you have to go to jail. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, but that's the thing. You took away Nina Simone's house. You could have made, yeah, they did commit some kind of fraud, but you could have worked something out to where they could have kept the house, to where they could have kept the estate, but you took it from them and gave them to them white folks. Then, not to mention, you married to a white man. See, that's the other elephant in the room. See, nobody wants to talk about that too. So it's funny. See, when Barack Obama won the presidency, he had Michelle. So black women felt that that was a victory for them. That's the main reason why they went out and voted for Barack Obama. It wasn't really because of him or his policies, it was because of Michelle. See, people don't want to tell the truth about that. And black man black man was on board. We went along and we got finessed not once but twice. Oh, just wait till he gets reelected. This is when he's going to do some stuff. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do 8 years of nothing. 8 years of nothing. So that's the real reason. I guarantee you, if Barack Obama was married to a white woman, they wouldn't have voted for him. Black women wouldn't have voted for him. But yet, black women want us to vote for Kamala Harris, who married to a white man. See, if I brought that up on mainstream media, like if I went on Fox News, even they would feel uncomfortable talking about that. But MSNBC, they really would become unhinged. They would really they would really feel uncomfortable. Oh, well, does that matter? It mattered when Barack Obama was running. And this is why, to a certain degree, I don't take black women seriously. I'm not putting down black women, but I don't take a lot of them seriously because they don't practice what they preach, and and a lot of times they display nothing but pure hypocrisy, feminism, and misandry, which is very detrimental and toxic and is a threat to society, modern society, because they will act off pure emotion. And that's the problem. You've seen the destruction of black women trying to raise black men. All you got to do is look around. So I'm just saying, all I'm saying is look around. But nobody wants to have that conversation about Kamala Harris being married to that white man. Uh, but they'll say, "Oh, you're being racist. Oh, you're being racist. Oh, that's racist. That's racist." How? First of all, a black man can't be racist. But if that's the case, then on the flip side, I could say that black women are exercising racism, saying that, and other people, MSNBC, saying that we should vote for her. And that take nerve of white people to tell us when we should vote for somebody because they black or not black. For them to sit up there and tell us that black men should vote for Kamala Harris because she's black and she's not black. So we can say that's racism, telling us that we should vote for somebody because they're a woman and they're black. So we can pull that card. But if we say, well, Kamala Harris married to a white man, so how does that make any kind of sense? That should cancel both subject matters out. But it doesn't. But you're telling me that I have to vote for her because, according to you white people, you white Democrats, which that take nerve to tell a black person, and that's the thing with white people. They love to tell us what we supposed to do and try to define what blackness is and what blackness isn't. They love to tell us what's racism directed towards black people, what isn't. But then they'll tell, and then for these white people to insinuate that we're coons or Uncle Toms or Sambos, if we don't, that take nerve. The nerve of these, I'm serious, the nerve of these people. Yeah, I'm just calling out the hypocrisy of black women. Yeah, they're gonna listen to this video when it's over with. They ain't gonna bring their asses on here and try to justify their hypocrisy. They'll sit up there when you bring that up about her being married to a white man. They'll say, "Oh, well, what does that have to do with it with anything?" But when Barack Obama was running, all you heard was black women. Oh, go vote for Barack Obama because he has a black wife. That's the thing. Black women stay worried about who black man is sleeping with. But if we question them and we call them out on not sleeping or being with black men, all of a sudden, oh, we're insecure, we're haters, we're jealous, and all that kind of stuff. Once again, the shaming, the attacks. So I'm just saying, I have every right to bring that up. Todd's history gonna be made for a black man. She ain't even married to a black man. And that dude is supposed to be Jewish, so obviously she's Jewish. The Democratic Party was founded by the KKK. So that's why I don't understand why black people have this blind loyalty to support a political party that has a history of undermining them and having ill will towards them and have done heinous things to them. So that's what I don't understand. Make that make sense. Oh, but anyway, you guys, I've been on here a little too long. I didn't mean to go that long, but like I said, in all likelihood, I'm voting for the couch. I'm voting for the couch. And that's just real talk. I don't care who gets mad. It just needed to be said. I'm voting for the couch. I don't really care for either candidate, but if it came down to who did a better job, like I said, we were under better conditions when Trump was in office the first time. But the thing is, people want to downplay the Democrats' history of racism. Joe Biden got a long history of racism that got ignored. But they only like to finger point and say this towards Donald Trump. He does it. Yeah, Donald Trump said some stupid stuff. He has questionable history. He does. He has very questionable history. But Joe Biden wrote the '94 crime bill that he knew was targeted towards black people, and he didn't care. He said he didn't care if Hades sunk into the ocean. He didn't want his kids to go to school with black people. He referred to black people as cockroaches and monkeys. His role model was a known member, Grand Wizard of the KKK. But see, mainstream media don't like to bring those points up because they only want to direct one thing uh towards Donald Trump, which is racism. But Joe Biden has a long history of racism. So that's why you should listen to MSNBC. Because like I said before, say what you want to say, Donald Trump ain't never locked nobody up, but Joe Biden did. He locked hundreds of thousands of us up. And you have to understand how the judicial system works. It's a trap within itself. They do statistics, logistics. They figure that black people, for the most part, why it's easy to get black people on paperwork versus Caucasian people, because they know most black people can't afford to fork out 20, 30, who knows, thousands of dollars on legal representation. So they figure, hey, we'll just offer them a deal, get them on paperwork, and then, basically we own them for the next 4 or 5 years, depending on, and then you have to walk on eggshells, because then it's like when one thing happens to you, it's all starts to happen at once. Because trust me, I've been a convicted felon, you know, so I know what it's like. I know what it's like. You have to walk on eggshells. But for the most part, if you can't afford, or you don't want to fork out $15,000-$20,000 for a lawyer, and there's no guarantee that you're gonna beat the case, depending on how good the lawyer is and what type of jury you dealing with, or what type of judge you dealing with, it's still no guarantee that you gonna get off easy. The idea is just to have you on paperwork, to where if stuff keep happening to you, they can be in a position to where they can lock you up for years. And people keep saying, oh, well, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Well, it doesn't work like that, because you never know. Nobody's perfect. And something could happen at any time. And sometimes you ain't thinking about the law. But the way the law is constructed, it's easy for them to take advantage of a black person. I'm not going to say no black and brown person. I don't do that shit. It's easy for them to railroad a black person, because they figure you don't have that type of money to get representation. So they'll offer you a deal. It's not about always putting you in jail. It's about having you on paperwork, having a file on you, to where they pull you over. They can search your car. And then you never know the type of person you may have in your car. You may never know what he may be doing when he ain't around you. Then guess what? This first person got at the time a few years ago, this dude may have a weapon on. You may not even know that he had a weapon on him. But guess what? They're going to stick the weapon case on you, because they already got you on paperwork. They're going to say, well, you shouldn't have been driving him around. I know how it works. Yeah, I'm just saying. I know how it works. I know how the justice system works. And to sit up there and try to pretend that they don't particularly target black men, come on, man. Don't be stupid. Don't be naive. They have a system in place just like everybody else. They have these conversations, they have these meetings. How do you think they have the logistics on who's likely to get convicted of what, or do time for this, do time for that? Because they know by the data, by the arrests that are made. Why did you don't when you get arrested, they put down what color you are? All this stuff goes into a database. So that's how they come with the logistics. Yeah. Y'all didn't think I did. Like, listen, just because I don't talk about this stuff on a regular basis don't mean that I don't know that it's going on, or it doesn't exist, or it hasn't happened before, because I've been through it. I know how they get down. The easiest way to get I could tell you the quickest law to get a black man on paperwork. The quickest, I'm gonna say the easiest law, or should I say, violation to get a black man on paperwork is domestic violence, or so-called domestic violence. At first, what they did is and I'm gonna explain this to I'm gonna explain this to you guys, and then I'm gonna shut it there. That was one of the easiest ways to get black men on paperwork, was domestic violence cases, and particularly with women. They rearranged everything. Actually, back in the day, domestic violence had to be actual domestic violence. But what they started doing, the dimmer dummies, especially in California, they started to rewrite the laws, where basically if you flinched at somebody, if you threw I'm serious. Now everybody knows throwing a diaper at somebody is not lethal. Everybody knows throwing a plastic bottle at somebody in an argument is not lethal. It's not going to kill you. But then they started to consider that all part of being domestic violence. That's why I say you need to film yourself. And then even when you would have a dispute with a woman, and they would say, "Oh, well, you need to leave the premises." There were people that were trying to leave the premises, where the woman would stand in front of the door and say, "No, don't leave." No. And you telling the woman to leave, and you politely push the woman out the way. They'll say that's domestic violence. So they made everything flinching. How is flinching at somebody domestic violence? Because trust me, I told you, I'm gonna talk about all this stuff. I went through all that stuff. I went through all that stuff. So that's how that was one of the easiest ways to get a black man on paperwork. And then you'll be sitting up there saying you got to hear this stuff about, oh, there's no excuse they ever put you up. And you'll be like, motherfucker, I didn't put my hands on a woman. But they labeled anything, any confrontation with a woman, domestic violence. So you don't mean to tell me they were manufacturing convictions? That's your judicial system that they want you to believe in and trust. That's what type of shit that Kamala Harris was on. And people like her. That's what type of time they was on. And then they'll tell you you need to flee the scene. You should have left, but then they prevent you from leaving. How many times you've seen on YouTube? And that's why I say it's very smart to record a situation, because even if the cops come, they already see it's a black man, because they itching to arrest a black man. They may not even do a full scale investigation or a proper investigation. They'll just say, because you turn around and all that kind of stuff. I didn't seen it where the woman just say, "Oh, he hit me." They don't even do a proper investigation, no proof. They tell you to turn around. And then the funny thing is, this woman could be staying at your house. I seen that happen to somebody. This dude had a chick staying with him at his house. This was his house. They got into an argument. He told her to leave. And which, by the way, he has a lawsuit against the police department too. He has a lawsuit against the police department that did that to him. He told her to leave. He told her to leave his house. She refused to leave. He called he called the police. But then the lady said that he hit her, which he didn't. They took him to jail. Then when he got out of jail, he had to go through all this stuff to get this lady to get out of his house. So you can actually have somebody steal your house. The house was in his name. But he ended up going to jail just because she said that he hit her. He got out of jail. He wasn't even allowed to stay. Do you know he wasn't allowed to come back to his own house? His house. Now, eventually he got her up out of there, but she was staying at his house. So did you know that? He got a lawsuit against that police department for doing that right then and there. So that just goes to show you how fucked up that system is. But anyway, you guys, appreciate you guys being here. I got to get some rest because I got to be at work in the morning, but we'll discuss it, whoever wins the election. I'm out.